All right, welcome back to Technology Engineering Design. This is a drafting unit, AutoCAD unit. We're working on multi-view drawing 1, page 120. We're going on figure 5-40, the B block. If you download this object right here, which is page 120, 120B, excuse me a second. All right, so you can now go in and maximize what you need to see for this drawing. We know we're drawing at full scale. It means you're drawing it. If it's an inch, it's going to be inch equals an inch. You can complete the top view, the right side view, and the front view. The top view, the front view, and the right side view. Overall sizes are 1.25 inches by 2 inches by 4. All right, so we're going to 1.25 by 2 by 4 inches long. All right, so let's go to our drawing. Get everything set up and go to there. All right, now I've already got it set up, but let's go ahead and go back through this to make sure we have everything set up and ready to go. All right, so we're going to go to units, UNITS, in the command line. The 00 pops up there with the units, brings up your drawing units dialog box. You got fractional, 1/16 of an inch is precision, decimal degrees, 0, everything else is good. All right, now I know from the instructions, it tells me that the height of this is 1.25 by 2 by 4. All right, so all I've got to do now is go back in here, offset this up 1.25, right? That's 1.25. I'm going to offset this one 4 inches, and then I'm going to offset each one of these 2. Get my top view and my right side view, and then I know the thickness of this should be 2 inches because it's 2 inches this way. I know it's going to be 2 inches and 4 on the top view. So let's go ahead and go to our drawing. We can go ahead and set that off while we got our offset button collected. So I'm going to go 2, and I'm going to go forward this way. I'm going to go 2 this way, rather. It's too wide. I did 2 wide on the top, and it's 4 inches long. Now, I'm going to hit escape, release my offset button. Now, we need to know some other information here to complete our right side view. We know the V cut in the middle of that is 90 degrees. It don't tell us the dimensions from this side to this side to this side here to the middle. We know that's in the middle. We know the V cut is 3/4 inch deep though. So let's go into our drawing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line right here between this point and this point. And I'm going to zoom in. Now the reason I did that is because now I can go, I've got my midpoint turned on in the snaps, my object snaps. Midpoint is there. Now, I got a line tool selected. I know 3/4 of an inch is how deep that V is. So 0.75. Escape. Now, I'm going to draw up. I got to turn my ortho off in order to do this. Now, you see on the left side of 90 degrees, it's no longer 45. That's going to be 135. So I'm going to tab over, change that to 135. Tab back, and go straight up. Now, I'm just going to cross over that line just because it crosses, all right? Now, I can sit here and draw that line again, but guess what? There's an easier way to do that. I'm going to select that line, go to mirror. Here's my mirror line, and hit no, I don't erase the source object. Now, when I go to measure that, it's still going to measure 90 degrees. And that's what it's asking you for in the instructions. 90 degrees including angle. It's 3/4 inch deep. Now, on my front view, now I got to draw a line to distinguish the bottom of this V on the front view. Get my construction line, turn my ortho mode back on, go that way. All right, my construction lines are done. Now I can go up here and I can measure my distance from this side to this side right here. So that's 1/4 inch. And just to make sure both of them are the same, I go ahead and measure both of them. And they're both the same. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my offset tool again, type in 0.25, which is the same as 1/4 inch. Do that line there and do that line there. Now I know that line there is directly in the center there. So all I've got to do here is draw a line there, draw a line here, and then I use my snaps to actually keep me from having to draw another construction line. Now, just go to your object lines, fill everything in. Basically just tracing over everything. It's like probably in one of your first art classes you took, you traced over, you got tracing paper to trace over your favorite cartoon or your favorite picture. Now this line here will not be an object line, it'll be a hidden line. Basically you're given as a draftsperson, you're given the ability to see through objects. Because unless you show it to somebody else, they'll never see it either. So all right, so we go here and delete that dimension, delete that dimension, delete that dimension. I know it's on my construction line layer, but it will show up on my, if I don't hide that. So let me go ahead and go to my hidden line layer, draw that one last line there. And then we'll go to our dimension layer. Notice our dimensions are still in decimals. We'll have to change that. Now again, once a dimension is given in a drawing, there's no need to dimension it again in another view. And of course, that dimension screwed up and I released it too early. And then the only dimension we need to give here is the dimension from here to here. You don't need that dimension there to the edge. The dimensions here are the same on the bottom. Remember, we don't dimension it more than once in a drawing unless there's a complicated drawing. Then we turn that dimensions, the construction lines off. Okay. And I forget, I created a template out of an old drawing that was super, super large. All right, so now that is figure 5-40 to V block. Construction lines, hidden lines, dimension. I need to change the dimensions back to fractions. So I need to go to DIM STY. It's called dim style. In command line, go to modify. Change my primary units to fractional. My text seemed to be the right size. Hit close. And then save your drawing. Always make sure you save your drawing. Because if you don't save it, nobody else will. All right, so get this drawing done. Figure 5-40 to V block.